Hi, this is Dave Lotman with Northeast Mountaineering, and we're at the top of Cathedral Ledge today in Echo Lake State Park, New Hampshire, and we're going to put together a little video to show you how to saddlebag your ropes while rappelling. Saddlebagging is a great idea when you're rappelling in windy conditions or anywhere where you might get a rope snagged up on your descent. Windy day like today, you toss your rope out, you know, the normal way, and the winds can just take it 50 feet across the cliff and increase your chances of getting it stuck. Another good reason to saddlebag is if you're rappelling, it's kind of a popular route. Lots of people might be coming up below you. It's much more courteous to saddlebag your rope than just drop it down on someone. So we start here with our anchor. I've got my middle mark right at the master point of the anchor, and then I've backstacked my entire rope until I get to the ends. The ends have stopper knots in them so that I'm rappelling on a closed system. There's no chance of me rappelling off the ends of my rope. I'm just going to start from the ends of the rope and make some progressively smaller loops on each side of me here. The reason for that is if I start with small loops and make them bigger, while I'm pulling loops out, there's a really good chance that one of those larger loops will slip under one of those smaller loops and get caught up. So you want to start with large loops kind of down past your harness and then make each one a little bit smaller than the next. Once you get towards the middle of the rope, do one little small loop there on the top. Take all those loops off like that, try to even them out nicely. I'm going to take a shoulder length sling to attach this to the side of my harness. So I'm going to go right into my gear loop here on the side, let that hang down, and we're just going to run the sling under all of our coils like that. And I could just clip this sling back in, but then the saddlebag's going to hang kind of low. It might trip me up on my feet. So I'm just going to put a quick overhand in the sling here to kind of shorten it up, just like that, and I can clip that right into that same carabiner. So all it takes is a shoulder length sling and a carabiner, and now my rope is saddlebagged here. Rope is secure. I can deal with a windy situation. I'm going to go ahead and put myself on rappel. Anytime I rappel with a saddlebag, and almost anytime I rappel in general, I like to extend my rappel device away from my harness. There's lots of advantages to that I won't get into right now, but the way we're going to do it is with a double length nylon sling that's girth hitched through my tie-in point on my harness. All right, this is going to give me some adjustability when attaching to anchors. I want to put my rappel device about halfway down this sling, and there are a number of ways to do this, but what works really well here is to just tie a clove hitch directly onto the carabiner about halfway up the sling. All right, then you've got to rotate the carabiner so that it's orientated right. What's nice about the clove hitch is it helps keep your rappel carabiner orientated so that it's all the force is along the strong axis. It also doesn't eat up as much material some other methods, so I still have a relatively long and useful tether for clipping into stations during my descent. So I'm attached to the anchor. I need to put myself on rappel now, so I'm going to take my rappel device here, thread the rope. Both ends are in, carabiner's locked. And before I disconnect from the anchor, I am going to take a quick second to throw a friction backup on below my rappel device, just backing up my brake hand in case I need to go hands-free to deal with a snag or random rock fall comes down and whacks me in the shoulder. It's nice to have a backup on for all rappels. So here's my friction hitch. Just going to give it a bunch of wraps. And lock it up. Anytime we use a friction hitch, we always give it a quick pull test to make sure it's actually enough wraps, and it is gripping. So that's all set up. I'm ready to come off my anchor here. When you use this type of a extension, you just take this tail and clip it right back to your belay loop. That makes the whole attachment here redundant. I can then release my hitch, start rappelling down, and as I go down the cliff, these loops, and you can watch right here, these loops are going to pull through my saddlebag one at a time as I'm going down the cliff. I'm keeping all my rope with me, no chance of the wind grabbing it and blowing it off to the side. And just like that, we're going to get down the cliff. So we've just demonstrated setting up a saddlebag with a single 60-meter rope. So you're doing a single rope rappel. If you're joining 2 ropes together to do a double rope rappel, it's pretty much all the same process, except you're going to create 2 saddlebags. So after you've tied your ropes together with a suitable knot and threaded them through the anchor, backstack each rope into 2 separate piles, put your stopper knots in the end, and then create that same saddlebag, that same technique with each individual rope. You'll want to put one on your left side and one on your right side, because 400 feet of rope, you want to balance it out. You don't want to put it all on one side, if that makes sense. This is Dave Lottman with Northeast Mountaineering. Thanks for watching.